Hi, Sue Ellam here. I'm a tarot reader of 25 years standing, and I'm using the Mythic Tarot, which is based on Greek mythology, for to answer Carrie's questions. So over to you, Carrie.
I've come up with questions based on my 20 plus years of work as an intuitive Reiki master teacher and a spiritual life coach. And I am choosing an unknown question for Sue. And it's chilly and my hands are cold. Okay. What is joy?
Whoa. I've got a friend called Joy.
I have a couple too.
I'm assuming that's not the question.
No. Because so many people, I don't know anyone that wakes up in the morning and they're like, oh, I feel joy. Like, it feels elusive so much. So
Usually I need coffee.
yeah, right. Exactly.
Says I, the keeper of the cards.
Yes. Keeper of the questions.
The question now is, shall I tell you?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. Joy is a feeling of expansion, a feeling of moving forward, constant movement, not being stuck in one place with one reality for the whole of your life. So if we're in a box in a life, then we move into a bigger box and then a bigger one, and then we don't have any box. It's basically being prepared to move, to change, to embrace new things. That is joy. It's not staying in one place with one set of rules for the whole of your life. And it's being prepared to come out of your comfort zones, jump off a cliff into the unknown, not knowing where it's going to lead. That, to a lot of people, that is terror, but that is joy. It's being constantly being prepared to, okay, well, I've done this, and really I'm now stuck, and there's nothing else I need to learn in this situation. Let me jump off that cliff into the unknown and let's see what's out there for me. Joy is also letting go of the things that no longer serve us. This can be situations, living situations, being in a place we're living that's not a joyful, or we're not surrounded by joy in that, or the people that bring us grief and aren't interested in being happy. There's some people that find joy in misery, but that's a completely different thing. That's not joy. So being prepared to walk away from any situation that makes you dread. If for instance, if you've got a friend and they're really good-hearted, etc., and they say, we must meet up, and something in you feels, oh, that's maybe not a relationship that you need to kind of cultivate an awful lot, because unless people change, then if you're kind of not looking forward to going to work, you're not looking forward to meeting certain people, you're not looking forward to go to a certain place, you need to honor that. You need to walk away from it and say, these might be nice people, everything could be fine, but this is not how I'm feeling joyful. My journey is in another direction, and there's nothing against the people or the place, but it's just not my journey. It's not for me. Find things you love to do, or people that you love. If you're going to live with somebody or be in a partnership, make sure it's for love, and it's not just because they've got a good income, or they're particularly handsome or beautiful, or a lot of the superficial stuff. make sure there's a real love connection, and that even if you're really sick, they will be there for you. You don't always have to be your best. You can be authentic with them. And that is also a joyful thing, because you know that they're not relying on you always to look young. They're not relying on you always to kind of look good or impress their friends. It's nothing about that. It's about one-to-one connection with somebody, and you wouldn't want not to be with them because they bring you joy. Even in difficult times, they can lift you up. But also, if it's not about personal relationships, find something you're passionate about, work that you love to do, that you can't wait to get up and do. Say, oh my goodness, I've got a day full of joy because, I can get on with my painting, or I do embroidery, or I can help people, or I can do my tarot cards, that sort of thing. Things that you love to do, because when you love to do them, it's not work. And and you feel really joyful in that. Acknowledge your restlessness. When it's time to, you've done things, you're really joyful, you love it, but then acknowledge your restlessness. You think, I can do more with my life. It goes back to the first card, expansion. Never stay in one place. You can stay physically in one place, but never emotionally or mentally in one place. And always be prepared. When you feel restless, it means there's new things out there. There's other things for you to learn. And always be clear with people, because otherwise you get stuck between a rock and a hard place, and someone's going to get upset. And what happens with this card is when we aren't honest about things, or we think, well, if I ignore it, it's going to go away. But ultimately, if people are in an argument, for instance, it's not a case of taking sides, but being honest about what you think and what you believe, and not just keeping quiet for an easy life, because it doesn't tend to be an easy life in the end. Because when the truth comes out, somebody's going to get upset because you've sat on the fence. So it's about being authentic, honest, and transparent. You don't have to be argumentative. It's just, this is my point of view at this time, and so nobody is under any illusion. And again, it boils down to having wonderful kind of supportive relationships, and feeling of peace and joy. It's about the relationships you have with people ultimately, and having an open mind and being prepared to adventure. Look at life as an adventure rather than a challenge or a drudge. And when I say challenge, I don't mean a bad challenge. That's what I mean. Don't think of it as a very difficult. Don't think of it as a difficult journey. It doesn't have to be. It depends on how if we look at things, looking for the joy in things. This life we have can be a joyful and wonderful experience. It depends on how we think about it, our perspective. And if we're looking for joy or we're looking for despair, it's our choice how our life turns out. So those are the cards.
Well, thank you. I love the very first sentence that you spoke, which was, joy is a feeling of expansion, because that can speak to so many people, because it's much different than equating joy with happiness. But equating joy with expansion feels so much easier, honestly. And I am the queen of change. And that was the thing that came up. You spoke of early in the reading about change. I mean, I've had 5 different offices since I started doing this work. I've probably had 24 jobs in my lifetime. I am constantly changing, constantly looking for something new. And I used to beat myself up about it, that it was that I was impatient or, you know, unsettled. But this reading was so important to me because it made me realize that I was always looking for the next expansion, always looking for the new set of people or the new set of circumstances or the new set of events or a new opportunity for me to step into something scary. And I think that's why I've always changed so much and always embraced change so much. And people tend to hate change because they are so afraid of the what ifs. They're so afraid of the unknown. And I encourage you all, please, to put your what ifs away. And now that we've been in pandemic mode, we've all been kind of deciding what's important to us. And I bet you've come up with some things that are really important to you. So take that second card and jump off the cliff. And if you can't jump off the cliff, then find some friends who will shove you off the cliff or who will jump off the cliff with you, because collaboration is so important. And if that just means, you know, sticking on social media, I'm feeling like I would like to try this. See how many people jump on and say, I'm with you. I want to see you try that too. Or I want to do that with you. Because we are now in expansion mode. This is my new message to everybody. I'm so excited, Sue. I got so much out of this reading. We are on expansion mode, and look at what no longer has served you. Find the things you love to do and jump off the flipping cliff.
And I can't add anything to that.
So if you like our messages and you like our repartee, please subscribe to one or both of our channels and share our messages that mean something to you. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.